And welcome to another edition of the FlanFan Show. I am your host and executive producer, Giant918. Please welcome my co-hosts, Jason Blaze and Low End Theory. Low End Theory, how the hell are you?
What's up, Moose fam? Another wonderful edition of the real FlanFan Show. I'm feeling good, buddy. Feeling good.
Jason Blaze, how are you?
I'm pretty excited. Serious business from last night. Serious business is yet to come here, and we're just going to announce it.
www.moosonice.com. Follow us on Twitter at Moose on Ice. Couple plugs we want to give in the, to start the show with Moose Fam. Then we're going to go over MAHL games, those that have been completed, then those that have been played a few games. We'll move into the MHL series, the one that has been completed, and then we'll go through the rest of the series in the order they are shown on League Daddy. Quick couple of side notes. We have top 10 plays of week number 5. There are not going to be any more Sports Center. Shout out to Low End Theory and Rocco again for doing the voiceovers for that. Shout out to Hollywood for producing those videos as well. Please leave more comments. There are 13 comments already. We appreciate that. Season 14 countdown. Got a couple of promos over there. I don't know how accurate they are with that. Yambag putting over there, and I believe Hollywood, our co-host over here, and he did a little bit of something fishy. He said something non-glitch. I don't want to comment too much into that. We're not a non-glitch league. We're a non-sim league. All right, so anything goes over here, basically. All right, Moose fam, you guys want to do board plays? You guys are going to be slitting your wrist till Global does his wraparound and stuff like that. That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, no question about it. Low End. How hot is Moose right now, bro?
Moose just getting hotter and hotter, buddy. We're in the thick of it in the playoffs in both the MAHL and the MHL. Guys are definitely jacked up for the season to get done. All the noobs looking to get in next year's draft with the expansion. Guys are excited. I'm not sure I've ever seen it this much buzz around the Moose coming at the end of the season, going into a new one, Giant.
No question about it. Shout out to Dutch Master Jenk, guest 7310, guest 7459, McGillis 72, and Drift King as well. These guys are loyal listeners over here, and I know the guests typically listen over here. Jason Blaze, we got another suspension over here, and this is the second time. McGillis doesn't really, he has nothing really much to say. Any concerns, you could private message or private message McGillis 72. And he'll tell you what Scotty's ridiculous behavior on the forums is. Is that hard to maintain and act like and post like a normal human being, or what, Jason Blaze?
It's not hard at all. You gotta figure, we got a lot of members that come in and out of those forums. You don't want to see diarrhea there. Most of the members that type in the forum thread and read and respond, especially the captain threads, they expect good, clean concept of fun there. It's one thing to go in there and attack another member. It's another thing to make fun of another member. But Scotty, he's done it time and time again. He's attacked members. It is what it is. He deserves it. He's a repeat offender, it says. And there's nothing you can really say about Scotty here. So just keep it clean, guys. That's all you can really do.
646-381-4907 is a number to call over here, Moose family. And when you guys call in over here, please, for the love of God, have something to say. I'm going to call you. If you're not speaking within 5 to 10 seconds, I'm going to ask you one more time, because we're trying to stay away from these prank phone callers and stuff like that. Other big news, Jason Blaze, are they going to have Moose Roundup? It's going to be produced today. It's going to be posted on Moose on Ice. Is that correct, as far as you're aware of?
As far as I know, yes, it is. We talked about playoff predictions. We even had a few captains on there and a few players on there talking trash to one another and saying they guarantee a series win here. See what happened last night? Because they talked before the series. See if they ate their words here. Stay tuned and look for it on the forums.
Yeah, and another big thing on the forums, and I want to give a shout-out to this guy, True Hater. I don't remember playing with this guy, but he's got top rookies to watch over here, so shout out. He takes the time to discuss these things. He doesn't have to do that either, And so I just want to give him a shout out as well and bring these guys over
Hater
here.
can play, Giant. Hater can definitely play, man. I ran a bunch of games with him. He's a solid forward. He's a really good D. So definite shout out. I just want to make sure to put it out there. Hater got some game, bro.
Yeah, and what's his natural position, low end, on a quick side note?
I thought it was left wing, but he played a lot of D this past season. So I'm not sure what is natural, but I saw him at D, man. He was solid. Solid.
All right, guys, so let's start going over the MAHL quarterfinals over here. Two-line tweakers against the Raging Fornicators. I don't even know how two-line tweakers even won one of these games, let alone winning two of them, but nonetheless, they did, it looks like. And, I mean, I'm not surprised with this. I thought they were going to get swept over here. Shout out to D. Mitch 0420. First time being captain as far as I'm aware of. Doing a great job this season, falling short, taking it to 6 games. I don't have anything bad to say. He was originally going to be captain again next season. Nonetheless, his schedule deemed otherwise. He's got crazy hard class. I didn't even ask him what his major was at the university. What are your thoughts on this series, Jason Blaze?
Yeah, everybody predicted the Fornicators were going to win. Most of us actually predicted it was going to be a sweep here. Kudos to D. Mitch and his team. They played solid. Sure, most teams can't compare to this Fornicators team there. Most people think they're shooing for the cup, but it's still a big, big accomplishment to even get two wins here, coming in as the lower seed against the Fornicators.
Low end theory?
Yeah, I mean, looking at it now, going over some of the playoff stats, big shout out to Liberated, rookie for two-line tweakers. He got 6 games in. He dropped 10 goals, 3 assists, 13 points. Also, veteran agent Jack Bauer pitched in with 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. So, hey, kudos to Mitch for giving the team, Cloudy's team, who's been just steamrolling all year, man, just diesel all season. They give him a little bit of a run there. Looking at the scores, man, it looks like they try to keep it close. You know, looking at some of the scores here, Raging Fornicators 2-1, 3-2. Tweakers ended up winning 5-2. Then they won 2-1. So close games here. So it looks like it could win either way, but look, Cloudy's a force to be reckoned with. He's been that way all season, guys.
Let's move along to the next series that was finalized over here, and this is none other than Low End Theories himself. Miss McGill's Tea Party, 3-2 overtime in the first game. Walk of Shame trouncing all over Miss McGill's Tea Party, 6-3 in game number 2. Winning Walk of Shame, taking game number 3, 4-3. Number 5, Mrs. McGill's Tea Party, and this is just a high-scoring game. The game-winning goal, and why don't you give us a description of what happened in this series, Low End?
Well, at first, Tony Soprano's team gave us all we could handle. I know we won 4-1, 4 games to 1, but every game was close. Every game was tight. Last night, shootout ends up being 8-7. I won the game with 2 seconds left as I banked one in off a 37 in a row shin into the back of net. My guys just killed it. Last night we were without Philly's Pride and Sniper, 2 of our better forwards. Phillies I knew wouldn't be there, but Sniper, MIA until 7:30, and then shows up right when the game's over. So I got to call him out on that BS. It's playoffs, man. Get your ass there. But Shadow Selene gave me fits all night, man. All night. He ended up with 8 goals and 10 assists on the series in just 5 games. Kicked my ass, man. But, yeah, Tony Soprano's all class, man. I just want to give those guys a shout-out. Sniper0270 was awesome in that for him. Shadow, you know what he does. But, look, we take it, and we're looking forward, waiting for the winner of Joe Stowe and Kale. So we'll see what we got. What do you think, Blaze?
I think what really determined this happened earlier in the season with that trade where they did end up getting Shameless and Sniper. I think if they kept their original roster, they were steamrolling with it. I think it would have been a lot closer, maybe Game 7 perhaps, but Walk of Shame's been dominating all season. And it's kudos to walk of shame there. Kudos to yourself, FlanFan, to have a team to still win with the fact that you don't have your starting lineup.
Oh, dude.
It's still proof that you have the depth that's needed to win the Antler Cup, and that's what you're aiming to prove here, and that's exactly what happened here.
Lowen, who's the MVP of this series anyway?
Thank you for asking that, because a guy I forgot to mention, Metsky Diver 3, newer guy, got put on a roster. We were having a problem with Just Too Quick, our normal goalie. His connection's been shot for weeks. He can't stay on. So we got hooked up with Metsky Diver from waivers, and just amazing goalie. If he's not in the MHL next year making noise, there's something wrong with all 14 of those captains. This guy stood on his head. He won the series for us. Without question, I know my team will agree, MVP of the series. And this guy is as cool as they come, man. Just humble, knows how to play the game, phenomenal goalie. You're going to be hearing his name with the top guys in the MHL next year.
I saw his name on the AHL only. I'm not sure if coming in late into the season counts as paying your dues for the MHL here. Giant, do you know the rule on that?
Yeah, I think he's going to be MHL eligible because he was added to a roster and he actually played during the season. I know that Lowen is trying to hype this guy up, and that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes some of these goalies and some of these players, sometimes they need to be. Sometimes they might want to be in the AHL as well and get a feel. But when Skydiver or Ski Diver, when he first entered the league, he was struggling a little. So I don't know if he was, I don't know if he was playing OTP or whatever. But I remember playing with him in scouting games, probably last Thursday or last Wednesday. What a change it has made, because when you come to the Moose, you guys know this is much more structured. You don't have these turd nuggets and one-man heroes, one-man army hero turd nuggets that you find in drop-in games or OTP. This is much more organized here at the Moose Hockey League. 646-381-4907 is a phone number to call, Moose family. Let's move along to the next series over here. And, they played 3 games last night, and Lambda opened a can of whoop-ass on Damage Inc. Jason Blaze, I believe, said that Damage Inc. going to take it in 6. I don't remember the exact number of games. Is Jason Blaze the missing link over here? Is this what Damage Inc. needs, or is there no turning back? And Funbags draped himself into winning this series. What's going on over here, Blaze?
I don't really know the answer. I know a couple players were emo last night. Not going to name names. Not going to name the people they were emo about there. But, I could say that if I was there, we'd be winning. But I just don't know. I wasn't faring as well as Cracker here. So, it could have been even worse if I was there. Who knows? It's just one of those things that, what if, But Lambda, it looks like they're going to win this series here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't think Damage has the depth. I believe they're losing Groot tonight. I'm not 100% sure about that report. But it is what it is. Damage Inc. is pretty much out and going to start golfing.
Lowen, how the hell do they have Upshaw for MVP and Buckeye Dude on the same forward line? How did this happen? Are these captains just morons? I don't understand.
Here we go.
Does Captain Funbags got a silver cock or something? I don't understand. Go ahead.
Well, obviously he's sending out cases of hard alcohol to these guys before he sends a trade offer, because he just traped the shit out of somebody for Buckeye Dude, who's been on fire. Granted, he's got a little bit of a questionable reputation around the Moose, but so far so good. Funbags has reeled him in. Look at him. In 3 games played, Buckeye Dude has 8 goals and 10 assists. Okay? So he traped to get Buckeye, and he had Scotty Name before he got called up. So, look, Funbags pulling it together come playoff time. This guy's a veteran. He knows what it takes. He won an Antler Cup last season. So look out, man. These guys are battle-tested. Buckeye is changing people's minds on his reputation. One playoff could do it, dude. He's Diesel right now. Diesel.
646-381-4907 is the number to call. Moving along to the last series. Looked like they played 3 games last night. Noosa Mice Dharma Initiative. I don't think Dharma Initiative going to have any problems over here. Looked like a real nail biter. Game number 2. Noosa Mice taking that game in double overtime. And Dharma Initiative, close games over here. It looks like all 3 games. I can't wait for the rest of these series, Low End. It looks really, really great battle over here.
Yeah, this was the one. Obviously, I was interested in it to see who we're going to play, but more so than that, Noosa Mice owned Dharma Initiative during the regular season. I was real curious to see if that was going to translate over into the playoffs. So far, not so much. But, listen, it's only 3 games in, and we all know that anything can change here in the playoffs from night to night. Looks like Noosa's hanging with Joe Stowe, who a lot of people have as their favorite to win the Antler Cup this season. So I'm with you. I'm going to be watching League Daddy tonight to see the scores and see what happens in the rest of the series, Giant.
Blaze, what are your thoughts on this series, man?
Well, I've always been a fan of Dharma. Not so much Noose here. I believe Dharma does not have a problem with Noose at all. I believe the second game might have been a lucky bounce. Those always happen in OT, especially double OT here. It looks like when it comes to regulation, though, Dharma is just ahead of them, beating them there. So I don't think Dharma's going to have a problem here. I think the scores may have been, a little different than what they should be. I think the second game was pure luck. And I think Dharma's just going to steamroll from here on out.
All right, guys, and that concludes the info for the MAHL portion of the playoffs that have occurred already. We'll move along to the MHL portion. It looks like one series has only been finalized, and that is Gratuitous Amounts of Energy sweeping moves like Yager, and I don't think anybody's surprised whatsoever, with the result of this series. Are you surprised over here, Blaze, or what?
Not at all. Yager, they've been hanging with the teams here, but, against a team like Gratuitous Amount of Energy, there's just no way. Unless you're a top team here, which moves like Yager simply doesn't have that it factor, doesn't have the scoring touch here. Gratuitous Amounts of Energy pretty much had a free ride against Yager here, and it shows here they got the sweep. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yager's already swinging his club in the golfing yard there, and there's going to be other teams to follow probably tonight. We'll see.
Owen?
Yeah, no surprise here. Another veteran cup winner last season. Jade Jamorsky here. Their team's been diesel all year, man. He chips in 4 games, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points. Okay, Wade running his right wing, 4 goals, 3 assists. They have balanced scoring across the board. I'm not sure who can beat them, man. But, they're definitely the favorite right now. No doubts about it. Gratuitous Amounts of Energy is probably they're my favorite for the Cup.
646-381-4907 is the number to call over here, Moose family. We'll move along to the next series because the remainder of the series have not been finalized yet. Lay Tabernacle against chronically arthritic Fappers, and Lay Tabernacle, they opened it wide open game number 1, but I don't know what happened. Close game, game number 2, and then they just lost 3 in a row over here. I don't know what happened over here. It doesn't look good for Lay Tabernacle. What are your thoughts on this series, Lowen?
Yeah, this was my upset special, Lay Tabernacle, based on the awesome goaltending they had all year, and I guess, I don't know, they forgot who they were. Maybe they were drinking after 1 or 2. Maybe they did some illegal substances there and just lost all semblance of talent. It looks like the Fappers woke up, and they're not looking back now. This is, Cool Fumbles pitching in. He's only got 1 goal in 4 games for Lay Tabernacle, so that's huge right there. If they shut down Fumble, I don't know where Lay Tabernacle's going to get the scoring. So, Fappers, Agent J, 2 goals, 4 assists. Who else here? All right, well, now my computer's taking a crap. Oh, here we go.
Looks like NJ Ski is, NJ Ski, it looks like he's struggling too in this series. So
I don't see him on the playoff stat sheet. I'm looking and looking and looking. He's not in the top 21 in scoring in the playoffs so far. Sacred's got 6 goals, 3 assists for the Fappers, obviously carrying a load for them. If you can't shut these guys down, obviously, but they're not getting any scoring late Tabernacle. I think Blaze actually pointed out they're more of a defensive team, and it looks like it's coming back to haunt them now.
Blaze?
Yeah, late Tabernacles, they were struggling as of late. They brought it to the playoffs. They started off with the big bang, and then they fizzled out here. Again, it's showing the battle of the defensive team versus the battle of the scoring team here. Tabernacle got their scoring touch in the first game, and then the Fappers showed that the easily dominant forward line could beat Tabernacle's defensive core there, winning the second game, third game, and fourth game here. And now Tabernacles are on the edge of golfing with moves like Yager.
All right, so we'll move along to the next series over here, Moose Fam. And what do we got over here? We got, and this is crazy over here, Serious Business Cats going up against Smoking That Herb over here. And I just can't believe this just happened. Jason Blaze, why don't you tell us what the hell happened over here?
Oh, geez, KMIM wasn't there. Johnny Blaze was. Shout out to Johnny Blaze. The first game, Colleton missed it. So there's a whole bunch of missing links there. Looks like the Cats suffered more with the loss of Cam here. Shout out to Fallen Warrior for filling in for Colleton in the first game. It was the battle of the goalies, really. The shots were pretty much even. The first game, I believe, maybe the second game, shots were about even, but it looks like Lefty Clayton outdueled his brother here. Give a shout out to both goalies. They played solid. Give a shout out to Frosty Nightmare. He's been scoring like no tomorrow here. And all in all, we've been playing very defensive. The Cats, they're no pushover here, and they showed it. And it's going to be interesting to see how the series ends tonight.
Yeah, now look, they even got Johnny 5 on forward over here, low end. Cam I.M. makes that much of a difference, I guess. Is that right?
You know what? I'm starting to think it. I know in the regular season that they had trouble with him, but I played with Cam last season in the MHL, and he really is that good, and he really does have that ability to totally change a game, and now looking at it possibly a series. But, man, coming out of a 3-0 hole, and talking to Blaze last night, he got called up from our squad. He played a few games with us before he went up to JJ, and, I talked to him after the series. He said they just couldn't do anything. I mean, shout out to him. He played right D last night, it looks like, and he had 2 goals and 3 assists in 3 games. But if they're not getting scoring from their forwards, the Business Cats, I think they underestimated their opponent. And, JJ might pay for it now. I mean, Frosty Nightmare, Jesus, 7 goals, 3 assists in 3 games. That's my favorite QC in the entire Moose, man, and he's killing it. Shout out to Frosty.
Yeah, and it looks like you got some background noise over there, low end. I don't know if you got the radio show running in the background on top of it or what. We only got one more. We only got one more series over here, guys, and it's never say never at the worst kinds of people, and never say never. Taking it to overtime in 2 of the games, and I don't think worst kind of people's even got a shot over here. If you're down 3-0. It is so rare. I think it happened once or twice in the history of the Moose Hockey League where a team was down 3-0 in the playoffs and they come back to win 4 in a row. Low end, what do you think about this series?
Wow. I guess I'm offended that a Justin Bieber named team is succeeding. But just looking at the stats, I think they tell the story. Look at Drift King, 3 goals, 6 assists in 3 games. Stealth Luke D, 3 goals, 4 assists in 3 games. I mean, wow. And they're getting solid goaltending. And once again, I think it's a case where a team underestimated their opponent, and now never say never, probably going to move on to the next round.
Hello?
Guys, we lose Giant.
I don't know if we lost Giant there. But,
I think we lost Giant.
Yeah, go ahead, Blaze.
Anyways, for the series here, never say never. They have 2 top scorers in the top 3 for the season there, and it's showing here. Of course, the interesting side note, worst kind of people had to call up Shadow Demon, so I believe he played in all 3 games. Not having your solid forward line that you drafted or traded for before and you went into the playoffs winning with, is crucial here. It shows with the Cats, and it also shows we're worst kind of people. Now both teams are in a hole here.
Yeah, there's no question about it. All right, guys. So that's pretty much all we got. That's pretty much all we got to say. We'll have the next show when this round is over. We'll go over our predictions for the next round. Anything else you got on your plate, Lowen?
Shout out to my team, Walk of Shame. 1 series down, 2 more to go to the Antler Cup.
Blaze?
Yeah, shout out to Lefty Clayton, man. He's hell of a goalie.
That's all the time we got for today. Continue to check us out, www.mooseonice.com. Follow us on Twitter at Moose on Ice. Jason Blaze, Low End Theory, Giant 918. Signing out. Have a good night, everybody.